alive again. The sector was practically on fire again. The market, stabilizing the market and tilting it to the positive outcome that the market experienced today.
And so I was going to do my last question before I leave you. I realized that you talked about insurance, and last week the top three equities were insurance companies: Universal, Assure Insurance, Linkage, and ICO. Is this something that's sustainable?
I earlier stated that the movement in the equities market is volatile. So nothing is actually sustained perpetually in the market. After a while, the market would have reacted to the price-sensitive information. And after that reaction, if there is no other price-sensitive information to change the direction of the market in terms of appreciating or depreciating, then the situation would remain stable. But as it is, the law affected the insurance market positively, and now they are also recapitalizing. So a lot of investors believe that when they are recapitalized, they will have enough financial capital with which to drive their activities successfully and boost their profitability and distributions to investors at the end of the day.
Thanks so much for your time, Mr. David Adonri, the Executive Vice Chairman of HighCap Securities. Thank you for giving us an insight into the Nigerian Exchange Group last week and what we expect in the coming days. And right now, we're moving on to the big issue.
The big issues.
The big issue today is fuel distribution, petrol and diesel. There seems to be a war right now between the petroleum retail. So we're going to the big issue, which is about fuel distribution, petrol and diesel. There seems to be a war right now between the Petroleum Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, that's Petron, and the Dangote refinery. If you've been following the news, you realize that some weeks back, the Dangote refinery announced that it will start distributing petrol and diesel directly to consumers, to companies and to businesses and to petrol stations. The company is planning to buy 4,000 CNG powered trucks to distribute its petrol and diesel across Nigeria. Well, it's actually paid for them and was supposed to start the distribution on Friday, but hasn't started yet due to some logistics challenges. But at the moment, Petron is against this. Petron is saying that if the Dangote refinery starts this forward integration, jobs will be lost. A lot of jobs will be lost, and then the Dangote refinery will have a monopoly. And with me right now is the Petron president, Mr. Dr. Billy Gillis Harry. Nice to have you on the Broad Street Drive today.
Thank you so much. But let me put certain things in perspective. First, there is no war between Petron and Dangote refinery. We don't have any wars, but we have need for clarification of certain issues in the industry. And we just wanted to, tell the story of how these decisions impact the distribution of petroleum product and how it keeps my members and the Nigerian public, fully benefited from any of the decisions we take. So we are not against Dangote. We are just clearly stating that certain actions need to be taken with a conglomerate, perspective, a global perspective of how that particular, business decision will affect Nigerians. Thank you.
So can you tell us, how is it going to affect Petron negatively and how is it going to affect Nigerians negatively?
Well, the way it's going to affect us is simple, because right now, what Petron does is that we buy product from NNPC and other retail outlets, or even those who buy from Dangote, and then redistribute. We sometimes take 1 truck, 2 trucks, 3 trucks as our energies, as our financial investment can take. And the tankers that we use are commercial entities in their own right that are paid for. There are services that are paid for. And we have a giant who is now going to be refining over 650,000 liters of crude
barrels,
oil
right?
that will, the barrels, yes, that will now translate to millions and millions of liters of petroleum product, especially PMS. And that distribution is just going to bypass every other segment of the industry and then bring product directly to the retail outlet. Ordinarily, to any onlooker, this is a very good thing. It's going to make sure that the business is successful. But we have concerns because we have this kind of scenario that are played out in the area of cement, in the areas of other commodities that have also, that has not in any way guaranteed the reduction of price. Because, I mean, in my recent review, cement has never come down from 10,000 plus up, and it's still going up. So that trucks belonging to the same company supplying that particular commodity has not in any way reduced the cost of pricing. So it is a ploy in our mindset to be able to get data and be able to know where petroleum products are sold much more faster, and then take over our various retail outlets. Because once we do not have enough money to buy the same product that we've been managing to buy to keep business our head and soul alive, obviously, we're going to lose that business. Our staff will lose it. And then, of course, the tankers, we also own tankers. Tankers are not only owned by NATO, we are also a part of NATO. So our trucks will also now be out of business, and that again will keep Nigerians out of business. So this is our concern, and our solution is simple. Let refiners refine, let storage facility owners store, and let retail outlet owners, sell product in the last mile of the industry. So that way, there is some level of participation by all members of the industry, and that will much more than guarantee the size of employment that's kept, and also much more, encourage price stability, and therefore guarantee the affordability of price that we are looking forward to.
Okay, there are so many people who will say that, well, it's a free market economy, that the refinery is free to distribute its own product. But I want to ask something. Let's assume that the refinery makes petrol pricing or petrol pump price of petrol cheaper. What would you have against that? Can't Petron members?
No, we don't have anything against petroleum price being reduced. After all, whatever product that's coming out of there will end up in my retail outlet members' outlets. So we don't lose anything. We'll still have our markup, minimal as it is. Even as it is today, is very minimal. So we do not have anything against us having product cheaper. But is that cheaper product real? Is it dictated by the true, values of the economy, or is it just arbitrary in order to take a larger share of the market share and control the markets? So that's our concern. So it's not about anybody can argue. Okay, after all, a refinery is bringing product to this. So where is it done? Where else is it done? There's always, a buffer between the refineries and the retail outlets.
Okay, so what's your ideal? What would you want to ideally happen? I mean, I know.
Well,
I think I read somewhere. I read somewhere that
situation will be we have a giant of a company that we are very proud of, and we keep saying that our ultimate objective will be that this company is very successful. So its success should not in any way undermine the success of other smaller companies. Because we are talking about energy, which is a developmental issue.
Yeah, I get the
Energy
point.
is not the same.
So what I
You
mean,
can have it.
what I mean right now is, with the refinery doing what it's doing, I don't know if I'm correct, but I read somewhere that you are calling on the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to implement price control mechanisms. Am I right?
We didn't say that they should control price control mechanisms. We only just said that let the analysis of the PIA as regards pricing, competitive pricing, right pricing, market forces be effectively interpreted. So that way we all will walk on that lane without just waking up, because it's just like any retail outlet owner in Petron, for instance. Some of my members have over 30 stations. Some of my members have about 50 stations. Some have 2 stations. Some have 1 station. And then one company that has 30 or 50 filling stations that has product suddenly wakes up and look at all the companies that are around there and reduce their price to 750 naira in order to undermine the other smaller companies from working. How do you explain that? Is that the real pricing? Is that how it's supposed to be? So that is a fact that needs to be drilled deep. We are not against anyone being in business, but while you are being in business and doing what you want to do in business, let us do the business rightly.
So let's do a comparative analysis. Let's use the petrol and diesel that come from that refinery, from the Dangote refinery, right? And the ones imported, from imported into Nigeria. What can you do a price comparison for us? Let's understand how competitive the market is.
It depends on the kind of negotiation that the company that's bringing product has been doing. For instance, Petrol negotiates for as low as possible for any of our members who are importing product to import. And that's why our members, if they did import product, it doesn't stay in their vessels for long, because before the product gets here, all of us have already taken 45,000 liters, 90,000 liters, 100,000 liters, 1 million liters, 2.something million liters, and we are done.
So at the moment, is it cheaper? Is the export price cheaper than what the Dangote refinery is?
And when we go to the market, our prices will reflect what we bought. So now the challenge will be that when one refiner that has his own product suddenly wakes up and just, names any price without any explanation as to why that pricing should be. The PIA did not envisage that. The PIA's what the PIA envisaged was simply that we should do right pricing, and we should do pricing that is competitive, and we should also do pricing that is controlled by the market forces of demand and supply of all the value chain, whether it is labor or technology or cost of crude oil or whatever.
So let me ask about what sort of negotiations?
What you should think more about.
No, go ahead.
What you should think more about analysis I just gave to you, where one of my members that have capacity to take in 50,000 metric tons of PMS. Because if any of my members have 50 stations, and in each of the stations is taking maybe 100 and 150,000 liters of product, multiply that by 50, you can see the size of product that he's going to get. And when he gets that, then he now deliberately reduces price arbitrarily to undermine other members of Petro that are selling around him. Is that what the PIA envisaged? That's not the case. So, and that's why we're saying, look, we want everybody to be successful, including the ordinary Nigerian that is our patron. Because all this pricing and all this competition and all these competitions and all these advocacies that Petron is doing is for the benefit of the Nigerian. And if we do not shout out now, you may not get another voice to shout for you.
Okay,
what
now
about if by December?
Now you are shouting out. Now you are shouting out, and the refinery is going ahead with its plan. What will be the next step? What are you going to do next if the refinery gets its 4,000 trucks and start distributing nationwide?
Yeah, for us, our point is simple. There should be, multiplicity of access or, sources to petroleum product delivery in Nigeria. They should be refined, they should be imported, but the qualities must be according to what the Nigerian midstream and downstream regulatory authorities has approved with the Standard Organization of Nigeria.
So it means it means the way it is right now, you are more or less powerless to what the refinery is going to do. The refinery is going to do what it's going to do.
No.
We
are not competing. We are not killing. We are not wrestlers. So we are not flexing muscle.
Okay.
We are simply saying, and of course we have a choice.
Tell me about
the
choice. What's the choice?
Yeah, the choice is to wake up also and say we are not selling again.
So is that what you are going to do? Because I'm trying to figure out what will be the next. What will be the next?
But I'm just telling you because you are not putting me to be in a flex in a ring. We are not in a ring. What we are advocating is that everybody should be able to do their own bit and be able to serve the Nigerian public very equitably.
Okay, let me ask you right now, because we have just about 1 minute. So we have less than 1 minute. So, sorry, Dr. Bilix Harry, you have less than 1 minute. So in 1 minute, what are you trying to negotiate right now? Like, who are you talking to right now? The authorities, the refinery. What are you negotiating right now?
Dangote needs to negotiate with us. We don't have to negotiate with him. Because Dangote is one refinery, and he probably has a few outlets that can do this thing with him. We are ubiquitous. We're all over the country. Dangote's plan may not be impacting on the small little hamlet somewhere that my members have their retail outlets. We are the ones that will extend it to him. And that is what he should negotiate with us for. And we are willing to work with him.
Okay, so the way it is right now, it looks like it's a knotty issue at the moment, because you're waiting for the refinery to negotiate with you, and it doesn't look like the refinery is ready to negotiate. The refinery is going ahead with its plan.
We have taken our matter to him. He has heard our concerns. We are waiting for him to be the one to call us. For us, we are willing to attend to anytime he says, "Look, gentlemen, let's sit down. We got to make Nigeria work."
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Anytime pen they are.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.